You're listening to the Confidence Coach Podcast, episode 56, That Burning Desire. All right, let's do this. Welcome back to the podcast. Today I want to talk about that burning desire. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that feeling in the pit of your stomach where you're like, I want to do this big scary thing that's outside the box for me, but I feel guilty, or I feel like I'm not capable, or I'm too stupid, or what if I fail, or all of these million negative thoughts that your brain floods you with the minute you decide that you have something that you want to do. So let me just tell you this. First and foremost, that burning desire, that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that want for more, that urge for more, it's never going to go away. It is never going to go away. It will seriously just eat at you until one day you end up hating yourself so much that you just give up entirely on that dream, or the pain gets so bad that you end up just taking action. One day you just wake up and you're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And so then you start to get a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous, like, oh my God, things are about to happen. And so I just want you to really hone in on that. Like, what are you craving right now? Like, what has been that burning desire deep in the pit of your stomach that you just cannot stop thinking about? What is it for you? What is it? I mean, it can be anything. It can be writing a book, flying a plane, bungee jumping, starting that fitness journey that you've been putting off forever. Maybe it's starting that online business. Maybe it's making those extra sales calls every day so that you can increase your revenue, increase your profit. Maybe it's speaking on a stage in front of thousands of people. Like, what is it that you have this big vision for, but you have these limiting beliefs around why you cannot achieve that big vision, right? Write these things down. What is your burning desire? And then as soon as you come up with that, and chances are you have something right now in your head where you're like, God, how does she know that I want to do this so bad? Because I was there. I know exactly how you feel right now. And so then I want you to write down all of the reasons why your brain tells you that you can't do this thing. Write them all down. These are what I call limiting beliefs. I think this is what everybody calls limiting beliefs. So look up limiting beliefs. And these are basically stories that we tell ourselves, our own limits on our beliefs of what we can or cannot achieve. And basically what they are is bullshit thoughts. Like, it's just bullshit thoughts. It's your brain's automatic defense system saying like, hey, I'm trying to keep you safe over here. Quit trying to do scary shit because we're going to die. And the truth is like, you're not going to die by doing scary things. That's how you build confidence. You get the courage to actually take action on something. And then once you're done with it, you have the confidence to continue to do it. So every time you do a scary thing, you're building your confidence and you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And each time you'll get a little bit scarier, a little bit scarier, a little bit scarier until you look back like a year later and you're like, holy balls, I cannot believe that I did all of these things. And so I'm going to share a little bit about my story. Okay? Because who doesn't love a good story? But I always had that burning desire. Like, for the longest time, I wanted to be my own boss, run my own business, just really live life on my own terms. I almost said my own 2 feet, which that too, whatever. But really, I was just like, I wanted to just stick it to the man, like, fuck you guys and your stupid rules. Like, I was so sick of coloring inside the freaking lines, and then every time I would color outside the lines, it was like, reel it in, Sausha, reel it in. And I was just so done with it. I've always had that burning desire to start a podcast, which if you guys haven't noticed, actually happened. A place where I can share, my real thoughts and not filter them. I do not find that many people who are just out there living life unfiltered, right? Like, not every day is easy. I think you guys know that. Like, I'm on the struggle bus some days too. But I choose to keep getting back up and keep going. Like, kick me 10 times, I'm going to get back up 11. And that's just how I live my life, And I always have this desire to just like travel the world and speak on stages and do all of these incredibly insane things that, I guess, quote, normal people think are insane. But for me, it's like, I just want to fucking live. I just want to live, and looking back, it's funny because these changes, they weren't always easy. I had a way of numbing out, like anytime that I wanted to do something scary, I would do like physical things, like, I don't know, flying planes, half pipes, surfing, motorcycles, roller derby, like any adrenaline induced activity, physical activity was fine for me, right? Because I didn't have to use my brain a whole lot. But once I started to have to like use my brain and like put my thoughts out there, oh my God, that adrenaline rush was like, it was intense, you guys. Like, being able to like say what you really think, not just like a filtered version of what you think is actually very hard to do. Very hard to do. And this has been so many times, like I've gone live on, social media or like speaking up in a meeting or things like that. You guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about because your heart's like beating out of your chest and you're like, oh, I have to say this thing or do this thing. And you're like totally freaking out. I used to like numb that out and I would just be like, shut up, Sausha, don't say anything. It's not your time. It's not your place. Or I would just tell myself that I'm stupid or nobody cares what you have to say or God, 500,000 other things. But then one day I was like, why? Why do I have to keep shoving this shit down? Like, why can't I just say it? There's got to be more people like me out there, right? There's 6+ billion whatever people in the world. I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm not the only one that thinks this way. I'm not the only one that uses the F word. I'm not the only one that, wants to stick it to the man. I'm not the only one that wants to start my own business. I'm not the only one who wants to speak on stages or, make tons of money so that I can give back to more people. I'm not the only one who wants to, I don't even know, just do all of these crazy, fun, amazing things so that I can show other people that it's possible. Like, I'm not the only one that thinks this way, right? And so I started to have this feeling, like this really deep burning desire about 5 years ago. And up until that point, I had been kind of numbing it out. I had gotten glimpses of like what this desire was, but I never really acted on anything, right? And so I just decided to start taking little tiny action steps, towards this deep desire, right? And I just went for it. And it started with just speaking my mind more. Like, that was it. Just speaking my mind, like putting it all out there, not giving a shit about what other people thought. And then it moved to, okay, maybe you step up your health and fitness game, maybe you take a little bit better care of yourself. And so then I started doing that. And then one day it was like, what if you quit your job? What if you quit your job and start something new? What if you quit your job and start a couple businesses? And it was like, I wonder what would happen. And so I just went for it. And I didn't hold back. And I've always kind of been a rebel at heart. If you told me I couldn't do something, I would always try to prove you wrong. I was always that person that was questioning the way things were, and a lot of times that led me into a lot of trouble. I guess I lacked that part of the brain where you listen to authority figures. Instead, I'd question everything until I made that person so uncomfortable that I would be getting in trouble, because it's the law, or because I said so, or those are the rules. And so I feel like a lot of rules were made up because of me, because every now and then I would push the limits, right? And I got in trouble for a lot of things that I don't think I necessarily should have gotten in trouble for, but I like to push limits, and sometimes maybe I pushed them a little too far, but that's okay. Anyways, I digress. What I want to tell you is that burning desire is never gonna go away. If you want to quit your job, do it. If you want to write a book, do it. If you want to fly a plane, do it. If you want to, I don't care, learn to paint, play a guitar, ask that person out. I don't care what it is. You need to find a way to make it happen. Just freaking go for it. The only person that is holding you back is you. There's nobody else that is holding you back. And you guys, one of the biggest things that I have learned is to use the 5-second rule. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about her before, but her name is Mel Robbins. Go check her out. She's a freaking badass. She's overcome so many obstacles in her life, and she's just out there making, one decision at a time. You're just, what's the next right decision, and act on it. You act on it within 5 seconds, or come up with an action plan, take some forward momentum in that direction within 5 seconds, because your brain has 5 seconds before it talks you out of something. And this has seriously been a life changer for me. It is genius. I would talk myself out of so much, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. Say you're like, I'm going to go for a run. You're like, God, a run sounds really good right now. I'm going to go for a run. And then if you don't go get your shoes on and go out the door immediately, chances are you're not going to make it happen. Oh, I have to make dinner. I have to take care of the kids. I have homework. I have work to do. The house needs cleaned. Why do I even try? One run's not going to make me any healthier. You automatically start thinking of all these freaking reasons why you can't go for a run. So just shut up and do it. Quit talking yourself out of things. Quit breaking promises to yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, make shit happen. This has literally changed my life, among other things. But this has been a big factor in where I am today. As soon as I get the urge to do something, I just do it. And there's a lot of times I just throw noodles at a wall and see what frickin' sticks. To be honest with you, I don't fucking care. Whatever sticks, I'm going to keep doing it. Whatever feels good, I'm going to keep doing it. But I have gotten to the point where I just don't care about what the haters think. I'm putting good intentions out there, and the people who need me or want me or have to hear what I have to say will come. I have no doubt. I have all the belief in the universe and the law of attraction, and that if I'm intentional and just showing up every day as my best self and putting out into the world good intentions, that the right people will come. I just decided that I just don't fucking care what Susie Q has to say about what I'm doing. I'm done playing small because of her limiting beliefs being projected onto me. This is a whole nother topic. A lot of times we play very small because those around us put themselves in a box that they can't think outside of. And so therefore, we feel like we have to play the rules based on their box, their limiting beliefs. Otherwise, we make them uncomfortable. And heaven forbid that we make somebody else uncomfortable because of the thing that we want to do. And it's funny because as I say this, it's like, well, duh, why do we even care if somebody else is uncomfortable if that's not what we want to do? But we do this all the time. We filter what we say. We say sorry for things that we shouldn't be sorry for. We stay at jobs that we don't really want to stay at. We just do things that we don't really want to do because we're doing it for somebody else's comfort. And I just have decided that enough. Enough. I am not going to live my life in a box because of somebody else's discomfort about what I'm doing. Like, that's their own shit. If they're uncomfortable, then they need to figure that out, right? Like, there's just not a whole lot that I can do about that. That's their own limiting beliefs. That's their own crap coming up in their face, and they need to find a way to figure it out. I am not going to adjust who I am as a person to make somebody else comfortable. And that's just a decision that I've made a few years ago. And every now and then it creeps back in, and I find myself doing things to accommodate people that I normally wouldn't. And then that's when I get overwhelmed, and that's when I get burnout, and that's when I don't feel in alignment, and that's when I'm not showing up as my best self because I just keep give. What am I doing to fill my cup? Nothing. And so then I have to check myself, and it's like, all right, Sausha, what has the past week looked like? First you experience the symptom. So you're like, oh, I feel like shit. Oh, I feel tired. I feel drained. I feel anxious. I feel whatever it is. And it's, okay, why do I feel that way? Why am I feeling anxious right now? Reverse engineer that. Okay, well, you're probably feeling anxious because you have a 1,000,000-mile long to-do list. You have not accomplished anything on this to-do list because you keep putting everybody else's stuff before you. So let's switch it up, do some things for you, ease that anxiety, check a few things off your bucket list, feel energized by it because you're actually doing things to fill your cup, and use that energy to give to others, right? Why don't we do more of that? I don't know. I think our brain is just like engineered to just like give until we die. Oh, I should not laugh. It is not funny. There has been far too much death in my month of January to me be laughing about death. But I suppose that's just part of life. And right, with the light, there is the dark. With the life, there is the death. And that's just the circle. So I'm going to circle back around and just tell you guys that you are going to have tons of excuses. You're going to have so many reasons why you can't do something right now. And I'm going to tell you what the most common ones are because I know these things. I don't have time. I'm going to challenge you to start implementing time management. Get a schedule, keep track of it, put things on the schedule, including yourself. I don't have money. Do you budget? Where does all your money go? If you can't just rattle off where all of your money goes in the last 30 days, you need to budget. And then I want to challenge you to find a way to create more income. What are you going to do? You're going to clean houses? You're going to walk dogs? You're going to start a network marketing business? You're going to start a different business, brick and mortar business? You're going to babysit? Or are you going to ask for a pay raise? Like, what are you going to do? Find ways. I challenge you. Come up with 25 ways that you can create more money this month. What if I fail? What if I fail? Newsflash, we all fail. Some of us are just a lot better at showcasing it than others. Some people like to hide their failures and think that everything's perfect. And so then all we get is the highlight reel. But that's total BS. We all fail. And that's how we learn, right? You didn't come out of your mom's vagina learning how to walk and talk. Nope, you didn't. You learned to crawl. And I guarantee you crawled backwards before you crawled forwards, and you probably fell on your face a lot, and you probably cried and tried before you figured it out. And then you started to walk. And then you probably fell a whole bunch and scraped your knees and scraped your face and bruised from head to toe. Would you tell a 1.5-year-old or a 1-year-old that they're a failure because they couldn't walk? No. It's just part of the journey. And the first time that, or your kids, look at your kids. The first time they started talking, did you say, oh, you're an idiot because you can't say mama? No, you didn't. You just kept encouraging them to say it. And then they say, dada, and you say, no, mama. And you make it fun, right? You do not beat them up for not being perfect right then and there. But let's be honest, like, all of our babies are perfect. I don't think anybody can look at their kids and not think that they're perfect, but that's a whole other story. But what I'm saying is we all fail. That is how we learn. I think we just we lose track of that, like your whole life, like going out for sports and doing all of these things. Like the first time I laced up on roller skates, like I cannot tell you guys how many times I got my ass kicked in roller derby. Not once did I think I was a failure. Well, I think a couple of times I probably did. But no, it's just part of learning it. You just have to figure out a way to make it work. You fall 10 times, you get back up 11. You just keep going. And another thing that everybody says is, what if it doesn't work out? And I'm just going to tell you right now that if you're consistent and you show up and give 100% effort every day, almost everything, I don't want to say I guarantee, but I'm going to say 99.9% of the time, anything that you commit to and are consistent with will work out. Whether that's building your business, making those sales calls, doing your, fitness every single day, like you will get results. You just have to show up and take action and be consistent every single day. Every single day. Find a way, make it happen. All right? Like that burning desire is never going to go away. Just go for it. The worst thing that could happen is you end up right back where you are here today, but at least you can say you tried. So push yourself. Think bigger. Take action. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And if you need help, let's chat. I have a program coming up and I'm taking applications. Who knows? This might be your next step. Maybe you need a little bit of accountability. Maybe you need help getting out of your comfort zone. Maybe you need help focusing in on what your goals are. Maybe you need help building that courage and confidence muscle. Who knows? Maybe 2019 is going to be the best year yet. Anything is possible, right? Okay. Head on over to SashaDavis.com/apply now. Fill out the application. The more detailed it is, the better. And I'm going to read and reply to every single one of them. And then I'll follow up and have your next steps on there. We'll get on the phone, we'll chat, we'll see how it feels, and we'll go from there. And if I can't help you, I'm going to refer you to somebody who can. Okay, I have a whole network and team of people, and based on what we talk about, I am going to make a recommendation. So whether it's with me or whether it's somebody else, I'm going to give you tangible, real life action steps that you can choose to do or not, right? Because I'm going to throw the ball in your court. And then you can take action on whatever your next step is. So let's get on the phone and let's chat about it. All right, guys. Until next time, go be a mother effing badass. Talk to you later.